Fans, listeners, viewers from Nigeria, Africa, and around the world. My name is Smart Mado Ajaja. I am the convener of Open Nigeria and the anchor of Nigeria Now at ONN and the Nightingale Radio International. Good morning, viewers from TikTok. I love you guys for the great things you do. I have been away for some reasons, but I'm back now. I'm back fully, and you're going to see me as a permanent feature. Again, like I told you, especially for the guys on TikTok, I'm still trying to understand how TikTok works. Don't worry, I'm going to come the way you guys expect, to do things with you guys. But, what I represent is about Africa, Africa, Nigeria, Africa, and world peace. We want a new generation of leaders, leaders who can work together, leaders who will not look down on Africa or look down on any race for any reason, leaders who will come and save our planet. Our planet is endangered right now. They are burning it up. They are putting a lot of toxins in the air, for us to breathe. And our people across the world are dying en masse. And worst case scenario is in Africa, where you see mostly puppets, in power. But what I'm going to be talking about today is about the state of insecurity in Nigeria with reference to Delta State, where I was born. Yeah, I'm from Delta State of Nigeria, the oil producing area. We have a lot of oil there, but there's nothing, absolutely nothing to show for the amount of oil, millions of barrels of oil that they take away from my Delta State, that drives the economy of Nigeria. The people have no access to hospitals, and the environmental pollution there is second to none on earth. The people are sick. They have no access to medical care. They have no good access to education that is befitting for an oil producing area. They have no access to infrastructure. They drink and eat their shit. I'm talking about, yeah, my people, the same water from where they empty all the toxic waste. That's what my people drink. And that is what they cook with. That's what they bath with. It's so sad. And what big corporations from America and around the world come to do in Nigeria, things that they can never do in their own environment because Nigeria is a corrupt place. They come and do all those things there. I feel sad and I feel sick. And this is the reason why we are appealing to the global audience, especially the younger generation, people who are humane, those who have real heart of service, people who have had, maybe those who are aspiring to be leaders in various countries. Put all this in perspective when you deal with Africa. Yes. Now, insecurity in Nigeria is taking a very dangerous dimension. My state of Delta State, one of the 37 states in Nigeria, has been overrun by terrorists. Yes, I'm talking about terrorists and bandits. The terrorists that are killing people en masse. Yes, we saw something like that about 220 years ago. Yes, before Nigeria became a country. Yes, the same ideology, same pathology, the same methodology is what these people who are holding Nigeria by the jugular vein are implementing in Nigeria as of today. But what they are looking for is to take control of the oil fields in the Niger Delta. And they are doing a very great job at it. Yes, the government of Nigeria, with effect from last year, has been releasing 2 billion naira, which is about maybe about $20 million every month as security votes to state governors, the 36 state governors and the Federal Capital Territory. Yes, what these governors do is they never spend the money. They put them in their pocket. And sadly, in the Nigerian constitution, there's a provision that those who receive these security votes must not account for them to the people. So that is a killer machine for state governors to steal. And my state governor, Sheriff Oboweriwori, collects 2 billion naira every month to provide security for the people and their property. But I tell you, as we speak, there's nothing suggests that 1 penny is being expended on the security of lives and property of the people of Delta. Yes, where Nigeria has the highest, the biggest number of oil fields. Nothing. And you know what is taking place now? The terrorists are kidnapping our people. They are raping our women. They are robbing. They are imposing taxes on them in their own country because they now claim that Nigeria belongs to them. Some wild beasts, Arab speaking, waving AK-47, that the government of Nigeria has not been able to do anything. In fact, the government of Nigeria colludes with them. The Minister of Defense of Nigeria is part of them. How can you put a terrorist as the Minister of Defense of your country and expect the country to be safe? This is what we are seeing in Nigeria. And again, the rogue vice president of Nigeria is also a terrorist. The 4 people who bombed the United Nations building in Nigeria were arrested in his house. Yes, in his house. These bombers killed over 20 people, including some foreigners, Europeans and Americans. Yes, in the UN building in Nigeria. You know what? They have been set free. So effectively, Nigeria is in the hands of terrorists. In the midst of all this, state governors, especially the governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oboweriwori, collects 2 billion every month. So annually he collects 24 billion naira and pockets it. Nothing is working. The people are not protected, but he has an army of anti-riot mobile policemen and soldiers guarding him 24/7. And my people are left unprotected. And in my hometown, from what I know now, I thought that I knew a lot. But what I discovered today is that since the past 1 year, over 15 persons from my hometown have been killed. When they kidnap these people, they are farmers, they demand for ransom. Ransom that the local farmers cannot pay. If you are not able to pay, they will kill you and harvest your organs for sale. That is what is taking place in Nigeria. Nigeria is a near lost cause. Delta State worse than anywhere now. But this governor is insensitive, he's inept, he's irresponsible, he doesn't care, and he's not accounting for the money. That is the reason I'm making this video right now, that the people of Delta State must now go and demand from him what he is doing with the money. Why there are so many terrorists occupying forests and farmlands in Delta State. I tell you, from my hometown, I come from an agrarian community. All we do is farming. Since October last year, the people have not been able to access their farm. They are scared. Those who venture out are kidnapped. And then when they kidnap them, they don't have money to pay ransom, they kill them. As we speak, right, with the past 2 days, 2 persons have been murdered since the past 2 days, the past 48 hours. The last one, they beheaded him. Yes, this is the situation we have in Delta. Delta is a terrible state. If you guys know about one governor in 1999, the first governor, when they say democracy, I don't believe in their democracy. This is bullshit. They don't have democracy in Nigeria. Yes, he was living in London. He was caught. He's a shoplifter. He was caught shoplifting in London because he was living in London. Yes, because of his stealing escapade, he was deported to Nigeria. He returned to Nigeria and played back himself into politics. He changed his jail record. He has somebody who has been to jail and became governor for 8 years of Delta State. He squandered, he wrecked the economy, he wrecked the treasury of Delta State. When he finished, he handed over to his cousin, Uduanga, Emmanuel Uduanga. Emmanuel Uduanga went and finished off everything that was left and provided a legal environment for this guy to be immune against prosecution. He took the intervention of the UK. Shame on Nigeria. Shame on Nigeria. Shame on Nigeria's legal system. Shame on Nigeria's judicial system. He took the intervention of a foreign country for this criminal to be arrested, prosecuted, and jailed for 14 years. Yes, 14 years. You know when he returned to Nigeria? He returned onto a red carpet reception. That was what he gave. And a church gave him their pulpit to deny everything he had accepted and for which he was jailed. Yes, this is where the church business in Nigeria. You know, I don't go to church anymore. The people, majority of the pastors preaching in the churches and the malams and the rogues in the mosque, they are all hypocrites. Nigeria has no moral basis anymore to exist. The immorality in Nigeria, I've never seen anywhere I've been. They used to tell us America is so immoral. What is taking place in Nigeria? The immorality in Nigeria is unbelievable. Yes, this is what is taking place. So he was jailed. Then he came back. Uduanga, his cousin, ran another 8 years of destruction. Yes, it's a cult. It's a cult. Second only to the Mexican drug cartel. Yeah, very close-knit cult. And then Okawa took over. Number 3. He did the same thing of stealing before this one. Sheriff. Sheriff. And he has started. So, we are in trouble. Our country is suffering from this trajectory of bad leadership. The man who is president of Nigeria did not win an election. He has a bad, terrible credibility issue. Yes, the army is an army like a national militia fighting against the people. The army of Nigeria is it's not the Nigerian army anymore. We don't know them. They are killers. They are killers. The army is supposed to be a neutral organization. But the army generals in Nigeria are making more political statements than politicians themselves. Because the armed forces of Nigeria has become so massively corrupt. They are not working for the interest of Nigeria. Their command and control infrastructure is not in the hands of those who should be having them. They work with bandits. They work with terrorists. It looks like they are given an order not to even react on behalf of the people of Nigeria. Nigerians are now on their own. They are now on their own. You need to see thousands of people are dying every day in Nigeria. Thousands of people are dying every day in Nigeria. Nigeria has been overrun by Islamists. That is exactly what is taking place. It is these Islamists, they are pushing down southwest. That is where they are now in Delta State. They have occupied all the forests and farmlands across the country. They come out, kidnap however they want it for the ransom. And this was those who know the history of Nigeria, pre-independence history of Nigeria. I will tell you, share with you. Futajalon was where Usman Dan Fodio came from. Usman Dan Fodio was an Islamic extremist, a terrorist by today's standard. He came and invaded Hausa lands, 7 Hausa kingdoms, killed all their kings, took over their thrones, seized all their lands, and the remnants of those who were left behind, they forced them to accept their brand of warped Islam. And since 220 years, the Hausa people of Nigeria have been in their bondage. 220 years of subjugation. So when the British made deals with these criminals, as usual, the British, Imperial Europe, the cause of the global problems that we are all suffering today. They are, when their industrial revolution became a global emergency, demanding African raw materials, African human resources, and African cheap labor. Yeah, that's why they went whack. And this is what we are getting. They are the precursors of all that is happening to the world. Imperial Europe. They have been no good. They created slavery. They created colonialism. They created imperialism. And they created globalization. They and their Arab counterparts. The Arabs enslaved Africans for 700 years. The Imperial Europe, led by Britain, enslaved Africans for another 400 years. In all, 1,100 years of European and Arab slavery on Africans. When are they going to be tired? They can't be tired because we allow them impose puppets on us. And that is what we are dealing with in Nigeria right now. The rogue president, I don't recognize him, he's not my president. The rogue president of Nigeria is not the president of Nigeria. Nigerians did not vote for him. He did not win an election. He was a drug dealer in the United States. An indicted drug dealer in the United States, here where I live. Indicted drug dealer. The records are there. He can't sue me. He can't even open his mouth to say anything about her because it is true. An indicted drug dealer, yes, who has killed, destroyed families in America, destroyed families around the world, is the president of Nigeria. And guess what? This is what Imperial Europe want for Africa. They never want people like me who can stand toe to toe, eyeball to eyeball, to stand and ask them questions, to tell them that we are all equals. No, they will look for those with bad criminal records and shove shovels down his throat. That was why he was quick to want to go and invade Niger. If not that, all of us jumped into it and gave the Nigerians and the Burkinabes the boost that they need. And then, thankfully, we destroyed ECOWAS. We are going to destroy the African Union. The revolution they are thinking that will not happen in Africa must happen. But they want to use Nigeria to slow Africa down. Yes, but it's not going to work. This is why the people of Nigeria must get together, take away their religion, take away their foolishness. Look at yourself in the mirror. Who are you? What do you look like? What kind of education do you need? How long are you going to remain a mental slave? How long are you going to remain an inferior person? How long are you going to feed their companies and corporations with African raw materials? Africa has over 45% of what drives the world economy, but Africa has the poorest people on earth. This is what we are talking about. This is why we must wake up. This is the reason we should not be having the lives of Bola Tinubu as leaders. This is the reason we must not tolerate people like Sheriff as governor of any state. Yes, this is what we are doing. This is sad for a country. So Sheriff is pocketing our money. You know what? They have this political party they call PDP. PDP in Delta State, I know, is a cult. When you are in it, you can't open your mouth to make critical statements against those who are destroying your state. Like I'm making this post now, I see what is taking place on TikTok. If I go to my YouTube my Facebook account. The people are enveloped by fear. They can't open their mouth. But we must break that chain. We must wake these people up. They have to wake up now. They don't have any choice anymore. They are being murdered left, right, and center by Arab-speaking Fulanis, who say a minority in Nigeria. Their population is not up to 10%, but their elites are some of the most obnoxious people in Nigeria and in Africa. Yes, this is the sad situation we are dealing with. So I am calling on you, Sheriff Oboweriwori. It is either you sit up, release the money you have been collecting, and put it into securing Deltans and their property. Put the money into securing Deltans and their property. The money that you receive is not for you to spend on yourself. I know you are keeping it for the next round of election. Yes, you are already planning ahead of 2027. You are barely 1 year old in office as state governor. Instead of you focusing on delivering on your electoral promises, you are pocketing the people's money and endangering their lives. Thousands of people are dying. A lot of people, over 15 have died in my hometown. That is only one small part of the state. It's the same story, even where you come from. What kind of governor are you? Your duty is the first duty of any responsible government is to secure lives and property. You are not doing that. You are exploiting the people and making them vulnerable. So what is the difference between you and the terrorists? What is the difference between you and the bandits? What is the difference between you and Boko Haram? What is the difference between you and the Fulani headsmen? What is the difference between you and ISIS? What is the difference between you and all the killers, robbers, and all of them put together? You are a killer. You are evil. You are heartless. I wish the people of Delta, I wish the people of Nigeria can understand what is taking place. So they send all of you out. Because that's the only thing that is left to be done. You rob the people, you exploit them, you enslave them, and yet you shove hot knives down their throats, and they cannot open their mouths to challenge you. What kind of a country is that? What kind of a people are my people? I have never seen this type of docility in my entire life that I'm seeing of Nigerians right now. What is taking place, Nigerians? Why can't you save your country that is rapidly and violently eroding? Why all the parties? Why all the show-offs? Why can't we sacrifice for once to put an end to this nonsense that is bedeviling our country? Is it fear that is our problem? Or what is it that is troubling us? What is holding us back from rising up like other African countries are rising up? What is making it impossible for us to stand like the Nigerians stood? What is it making it impossible for us to stand like the Burkinabés are standing? What is making it impossible for us to stand like the Malians are standing? Why are we not standing like the Guineans? South Africans are standing right now. And I am hoping that by the end of May, when they hold their presidential election, that they are going to put a revolutionary in power. The Senegalese rose up. Nigerian youths, where are you? Nigerian youths, where are you? Delta youths, where are you? Why are you not standing? You see all this. When Macron became president at the age of 35 or 37 in France, you came up with a youth takeover movement. Yes, you take over. You're always good at creating slogans, but you never follow through. You take over. By 2018, you take over movement died. You lined behind your oppressors again. Yes. Then the next thing that came was NSAS. NSAS. It didn't last 2 days. You went back again. And now look at where we are. Are you not ashamed that a drug dealer is your president? Are you not ashamed that your vice president is a terrorist? Are you not ashamed that the minister of defense of your country is a bandit? Are you not ashamed that your Senate president did not win an election? It's a criminal and is there. The same thing with the leader at the House of Representatives. Most of the governors are all criminals. Or majority of the senators are criminals. Are you not ashamed of your judiciary, cash and carry judiciary that cannot interpret the laws of Nigeria? Are you not ashamed that Nigeria has become an empire of corruption? Are you not ashamed that you are not making progress? Are you not ashamed that your economy has crashed and your jobless economy? Yes, over 50% of Nigerians are unemployed. Are you not afraid? Are you not ashamed of that? When are you going to wake up? When are you going to rise up? What message are we going to give to you that will make you wake up? Nigerian youths, where are you in all this? Delta youths, where are you in all this? Why are you afraid of standing up? Why are you afraid of taking your destiny in your hand? Citizens are not supposed to be afraid of their government. Governments are supposed to be afraid of their citizens. Governments all over the world, everywhere I have been, governments are scared of their citizens. But in Nigeria, the citizens are scared of government. No matter how much we have told you, yes, that you have rights. Yes, not just only rights to your citizenship. First of all, you have basic human rights. Rights to your life, right to freedom of expression, right to freedom of association, right to freedom of worship, right to self-defense, self-determination, right to choice. Nigerians, where are you? And on top of that, you have right to your citizenship of Nigeria. When are you going to enforce these rights? Is it when you are dead? Your generation is being wiped out systematically. You are busy, some of you are busy dancing. It's not going to lead you anywhere. Every country that became liberated, citizens made sacrifices. Nigerians are not making any sacrifice. You know why? Nigerians did not struggle for independence. Nigerians never struggled for independence. Nigerians did not shoot guns to become independent. Nigerians did not suffer. Mosquitoes did it for Nigeria. The mosquito drove the Europeans away. They were dying of malaria. That was why they relinquished their hold on Nigeria. That is why Nigerians don't appreciate freedom. They don't understand. Ask South Africans question. Since 1652 to 1994, they were in battle against apartheid. Yes, 400 years of battle against apartheid. Yes, that is why, you see, no matter how much I don't like Ramaphosa, you still see that revolution in him. When he speaks, when he takes action, you still see he comes from that background of struggle. But when a Nigerian leader speaks, what do you hear? Apologetic to European imperialism. Yeah, they go to Chatham House to make statements about what is taking place in Nigeria. They go to London to hold meetings about situations in Nigeria. They don't ask themselves questions. How many Europeans are coming, if not only for exploitation, to hold meetings about situations in Europe? Stupid people. Stupid. Goddamn stupid. Yes, we put them there because we are stupid too. Yes, you don't ask questions. Why has Nigeria not progressed since independence? Why has Nigeria does not have a good construction company that can even go and construct road across in Niger or in Republic of Benin? Yes, but every time, you see, Chinese will come from thousands of miles to construct roads. Something wrong with us, and that is what we must break. Now, just last week, a Chinese supermarket operating in the heart of Abuja, Nigeria, denied the owners of the land access into that supermarket. Yes, racism against you in your own country. That is how bad it can get for the black man. That is how bad it can get for a Nigerian. Yes, today. Yes, they discriminate against you in their country. Chinese don't allow Nigerians to exercise themselves, express themselves in their country. They always watching them. They're always policing them. Then they come and bring that racism into Nigeria. I hear there is a Nigeria, there was a restaurant, Chinese restaurant, that would not serve Nigerians. What is good about Chinese? I don't eat their trash, but they can't come into Nigeria to be discriminating against Nigerians. But they do it and go scot-free. A Chinese was seen, killed his girlfriend, a Nigerian girlfriend. Yes, in Nigeria. In Nigeria. Can you do that in China? Can you do that anywhere? Everywhere we go, Nigerians are being hounded. They can't be hounding us in our country. The reason they do that is because of the quality of leadership we have. And this is what must stop. We had a moment to change our history. We went to sleep because we are afraid of dying. We are afraid of standing up. We are afraid of the soldiers shooting at us. Look at where we are right now. It's not the soldiers shooting at you now. Terrorists, bandits, Fulani bandits, imported into Nigeria, are taking over your country. And you are still smiling. You think it's going to end by itself. You are praying to which God? Jesus will not come. That is not the business of Jesus. Jesus has given you dominion. Yes, that's what the Bible says. They gave you dominion. God gave you dominion over all things, including over your oppressors. So your failure to use it is not an emergency on God. It is you who is refusing it. And when a people are selfish, their country suffers. And that is exactly what is happening in Nigeria. Nigerians, stop being selfish. Deltans, stop being selfish. Deltans, if I advise you, I know you are not going to take it because you are mostly corrupt, especially the young Deltans, very corrupt population. Because they belong to the same cult with the people who oppress them. They won't see what I'm saying as anything serious. They will ride with it. And still in the next election, this fool can come again and win. Yeah, the guy who is exposing them to death, the guy who is exposing them to being kidnapped, the guy who is exposing their women to being raped, they will put him back in power. And it continues on and on. 4 in a row, all bad, corrupt, terrible governors of Delta State. Yes, this is how bad the Nigerian story is. What can we do? The same story everywhere. But if we don't stand up, we are likely to see, and it's nearing there, the total overrunning of Nigeria is about to happen. These criminals, these mercenaries have stationed their militias in forests across Nigeria. There's something they are waiting for. They are waiting for a command to come out and mop up. They have significantly weakened the rural communities. They have weakened everywhere in Nigeria. What is left is that final command. Come, take over, and we form a government of an Islamic, rogue, warped Islamic government over Nigeria. It is coming unless you, the people of Nigeria, hearken to my voice. I've been preaching to you since the past nearly 15 years. Everything I have said to you, show me one that did not happen. All of them happened. But I don't claim like pastors that I'm a prophet. I don't need offering. I don't need tithe from anyone. I need the people, you people, to wake up and behave like human beings. Nigerians endure pain. They are no longer human beings. Yes, any normal human beings will respond to pains. Nigerians will adjust to every pain. They will take in as every pain. Look at what the country has been turned into. A country that millions of people now go to bed on empty stomachs, and they are still there. People cannot buy gas, and they are still there. People cannot transport themselves to work. Nigerians are still there. Instead, they will be praying. Praying to what? God does not hear this type of your prayers because you are not working. God said, work and pray. I don't know the type of God they are praying to. Maybe it's the European and the Arab God. That's why it's not going to, if that is the God you are praying to, if not, that's not the Almighty God, it's not going to hear you. If you are praying from your heart and you are doing something, You must be doing something and consistently doing it for God to come and jump in and do what he has to do. Yeah, you got to do the most part of the work. And don't sit down and expect God to come down like they said he did in the past when he was giving the Israelites manna. I don't know how true that is. And then the Israelites started complaining that it was monotonous food that they have to eat every day. So God said, okay, now you got to go work and eat. If you don't work, there is dignity in labor. You got to work in order for you to feed. Nigerians are not working. The rest of Africa is working. It's only Nigerians that are not working. Nigerians are not working. Nigerians are not working. They don't want to change their bad story because they did not struggle for independence. They never struggled for independence. Thank you, Mosquito. Mosquito made it happen. Then the Europeans ran away. But they ran away and they started using remote control, using people in Nigeria to control Nigeria. They built an alliance with the elitist Fulanis. Yes, they advised them. In my next video, I'm going to show you the revelation from one of the colonial workers. Yeah, big official workers. You know, whenever it's like when their life is about to end, they start confessing their sins. Yes, 16-minute video. You will wow to hear what happened about Nigeria. But before I leave, I want to, chronicle how we got to where we are to become a country that was established on a foundation that they knew was not going to hold. Yes, after the 1804 jihad, the Fulanis ruled the Hausa people with an iron fist. And then when the British came, because they had an earlier treaty with the British, the Fulanis and the British Ottoman and Fodio Fulanis, I will call them, because there were other Fulanis that are not violent, like the Osman and Fodio type. The Osman and Fodio descendants, him and his descendants are the troublesome Fulanis in Nigeria, very violent. So they reached an agreement. And then in 1914, they brought Nigeria, they call them Northern and Southern Protectorate. You see where the division of Nigeria started from. How will you come into a country and you say one place is north and the other one is south? And that line has forever remained. And it's going to take a lot to bridge it. So they brought them and made them in 1914. And guess how many people signed? Only six. Only six. Nigeria has remained a business plantation. It's not a country. 6. 22 Britons and 6 what they call Nigerians signed the Amalgamation Treaty in 1914. Out of the 6, 3 were Fulanis, or maybe 1 was closer to Fulani, but 2 were Utmadon Fodio Fulanis. And then 2 others were Yorubas from the southwest of Nigeria. All right? And then the last one was the Obong of Calabar, where they had their colonial outpost. I think they wanted to just, appreciate him, as a business partner. So it was 22 British business partners and 6 Nigerians, what they call Nigerians, that signed the treaty. In a country of over 450 ethnic nationalities. The Igbos were not part of the signing. The Hausas were not part of the signing. The Edos were not part of the signing. The Shekiris were not part of the signing. And many of the tribal nationalities that makes up what we call Nigeria today. What an unfair deal. And the amalgamation was supposed to last for 100 years. In 2014, that treaty expired. Let me backtrack. And then they pushed, after they signed in 1914, they kept on, it was for business and not for anything. All right? But the British had very, very close relationship with the Ottoman and Fodio Fulanis. And then when they were leaving towards independence, the people who made a little noise about independence were mostly from the southwest of Nigeria and the southeast, where the Igbos come from. So the British, like that man confessed, he said they didn't trust the people from the southeast and southwest. So they gave power to those that they could control. Yes, the North, the Fulani North, the Ottoman and Fodio Fulani North, those they could manipulate, those who will not ask them questions. Because they said Awolowo and Azikiwe and all the other ones, Enahoro, were troublesome. So they didn't trust them. That's what British did, divide and rule. And they have not stopped, sneaky. So Nigerians must understand these people. So they have kept that relationship. They manipulate Nigeria from wherever through these people. 10 out of 13 leaders of Nigeria in the history of Nigeria, 10 out of 13 were Fulanis. 10. Yes, an ethnic minority in Nigeria. 10 leaders of Nigeria out of 13. 10 out of 13 were Fulanis. And the 3 were remotely connected to them. If they are not directly in power, they are indirectly or remotely in power. Yes, how they did it to Nigerians, I don't know. But they did it with the help of the British. And this is what we must dismantle. And that is why Nigeria has been boiling. That is the reason why Nigeria has been working against itself. They created a civil war. Okay, now in 1960, mosquitoes drove them away. They said, okay, take independence. And that was where the trouble started. On day one, Ahmadu Bello made the worst statement that you should never hear from a statesman. Yes, he did that. Hate speech on day one against the Igbos. It wasn't quite 6 years when the country caught fire. And it was a tribal war. It was not a Nigerian civil war. They tried to make it look like it was a civil war, but it was not. The handwriting, the imprint, everything was like a Fulani, was Madam Fodio Fulani jihad on Nigeria. And that jihad has not ended because Madam Fodio, before he died, told them that the jihad will come to an end with the total occupation and overrunning of Nigeria when they dip their Quran into the Atlantic. They are very close to it. And that is why they are in Delta State. And that is why Sheriff Oboweriwori, you are the one giving them the power to do a touchdown in our backyard. The people of Delta, you must wake up. Oboweriwori has sold Nigerians out. Oboweriwori has sold Nigerians out. Hey, Predictable, how are you? Good morning from here. Good morning. Thank you very much for always tuning in. Yes, Governor Oboweriwori Sheriff has finally sold Nigeria. Yes, he's not just selling only data because he is not defending his piece of Nigeria. He has given up Nigeria. He's the one surrendering Nigeria to the jihadists who have come with the mindset to take over Nigeria. They are not Nigerians. We don't know them. But we don't mind that they are in Nigeria. We accommodate because Nigeria is supposed to be a melting pot like the United States of America. Nigeria is supposed to be that example of United States of America in Africa with access to every African. But these people came with this violent Arab mindset to destroy our country. Sheriff Oboweriwori, Deltans, are you hearing me? Deltans, are you hearing me? Deltans, Nigerians, Sheriff Oboweriwori is about to give your country to the invaders. He has left our people unprotected. He has left them most vulnerable. He's embezzling the money he gets from the Federation account to provide security for all. The same way Okawa did. Okawa came with the idea of forming Delta Hawk. Delta Hawk did not last 2 days. He pocketed the money and nobody is questioning him. This is how sad. This is a very serious issue, very serious national security issue that we must not allow to bet in Nigeria. We are almost too late coming to respond. Nigerians, why are you docile? Nigerians, why are you quiet? Nigerians, why are you sleeping? Nigerians, what is wrong with you? Why can't you feel pain? What is wrong? What is it? Why freedom never comes free? You didn't struggle for independence. Now you must struggle to retake your country from terrorists and bandits. They are about to take our country. Why are you quiet? Why are you silent? Why are you not waking up? What is wrong with you, Nigerians? What is wrong with you, Nigerians? What is wrong with you, Nigerian youth? What is wrong with you, the Nigerian elite? What is wrong with you, Nigerian traditional rulers? One of the most corrupt groups. Yes, what is wrong with everybody in Nigeria? Why are we so complacent? Why do we think that Jesus Christ will come and fight our battle? Battle that we have everything to fight. Why are we doing this? These people come. They are raping our women. They go into family homes and rape mothers in the presence of their children and their husbands. That is what they are doing. That is how audacious these people have gotten. The same thing they did to the Hausa people 220 years ago. The same methodology, the same ideology, the same plan, the same everything. Nothing changed. The same thing. Occupy their forests, occupy their farmland, starve and create food insecurity so they will vacate their communities for you. And then they move in and take over those communities and repopulate it. This is exactly what they are doing. Nigerians, remember 1804. Because 20 years down the line, if we fail to recover our country, people will be studying it in history. Like we are talking about 1804 jihad, like we are talking about the Moroccan invasion, like we are talking about the Ottoman Empire, and all those. History will never stop to flow. Are we going to make ourselves available to be another history that people will study, and our unborn generations will blame us, will curse us for selling them out long before they were born? What is wrong with you, Nigerians? Why are you not waking up? What is it that you want? Look at your sprawling edifice of a country with everything in it. You are afraid. You are afraid of Bola Tinubu. You are afraid of his army. What if you die? People have died. Palestinians are fighting. They are dying every day. They are being bombarded left, right, and center. But they refuse to give up. Why? Why is it that Nigerians are not waking up? Yes, Palestinians have been dying since 1948. They have been dying. They have been dying. They have been fighting. They are not afraid of mortars. They are not afraid of aircraft. They come, yes, they will bomb and kill. But every generation come saying, no, we have to fight. This is our land, whether it is theirs or not. But they have that belief. They have not stopped fighting. Why are you not fighting, Nigeria? Why are you not standing up? What is your problem? What do you need? What is your problem? Every time they call you out, you are afraid. As labor leaders, you are afraid. As youth leaders, you are afraid. As community leaders, you are afraid. When are you going to assert your citizenship of Nigeria? When are you going to enforce your citizenship of Nigeria? Nigerians, what is wrong with you? Why can't you wake up? What is wrong with you, Nigerians? Tell me what is wrong. 63 going to 64 years. Your country has been on one spot, while the rest of the world is making progress. We leave Nigeria. Intellectuals leave Nigeria, go to other places, and boom, they start flying. But when we go back to Nigeria, we become fish out of the water. Why are we not asking questions? Why are we not able to move? Why is it that we are not able to bridge this gap of North and South? Yes, the big problem of Nigeria. The leaders who claim that they are Northern leaders, who hold their people down with their feudalism. Yes, where one man will sit down and say he's the one feeding the whole community. He doesn't pay them. All he gives them is food. They come, just the same thing the French people did to their colonies in Africa. He will they will eat from the same plate. Every evening, they will go in the morning to toil for him. And then he comes back. And then they will bring food. Everybody eats from the same plate. And they say, Allahu Akbar. Everybody goes. He doesn't give them anything. He doesn't pay them wages. They become slaves. Now they become afraid of life in freedom. When we preach this message of freedom to them, that they are being repressed, it doesn't really make sense. We are still looking for ways. We are still exploring ways to get this thing into this head. If the people, the poor, the repressed, the massively abused houses in the North wakes up, these people will flee. And we are working on it. Nigerians, why are we doing this to ourselves? Why can't we wake up? Why can't we stop and think? What is this whole religious nationalism about? What is this tribalism about? How much has tribalism helped Nigeria? Tell me. Tell me. The country has remained retarded. The country is not making any progress. Before you know anything, you tell me about Islam. You tell me about Christianity. Yes, they made our country a battleground. Yes. And then they arm us against one another. They smile to the bank from our blood that we spill every day. AK-47 has a price. The bullets to fire it have their own prices. Every bullet that is fired grows somebody's economy. We are so stupid. We come with this nonsense into leadership. We want to repress some people. We want to repress the Igbos. They will gang up against the Igbos, the most ingenious group of Nigerians, the people who could have turned Nigeria into Taiwan. You want to repress them. You take, for 3 generations, going into 4 now, you are beating them down. And you are not making any progress from doing that. I would think that you, the people of Nigeria, should advise themselves against this. Or let these people go. If the Igbos leave Nigeria, that will be the end of Nigeria. The whole of Nigeria knows that. The Igbos leave Nigeria, that will be the end. But you have them in Nigeria, you are retarding them, you are repressing them, you are stopping them from advancing a course for the whole of Nigeria. You are killing yourselves. One day, they will leave. And if you leave, am I going to be in the same country with a religious extremist? No way. No way. I am not sure any sane Yoruba person who want to be in a country where Madam Fodio religious ideology is shared. It's not going to happen. It is either we shape up now and open Nigeria to access to opportunity for every Nigerian, regardless of place, sex, and condition, circumstance of birth. That is the only way. If we can do that, if Nigerians can go to Germany, if I am here in the United States, I am highly accepted. Yeah, it's not like there are no problems here and there, but there are pathways to addressing any such problems. But in Nigeria, we don't have any pathway to addressing anything. People will die, somebody will come and kill, depending on how much money you have, they can get away with it. Like all that is happening right now, terrorists will kill people and nobody is held accountable. Their masterminds are known, but they are even in government. Nobody, they control the army, they control the judiciary, they control the police, they control the DSS, they control just everything. And infinitesimal population of people. Something is wrong with the people of Nigeria. 250 million people. 10 million cannot come out and take over their country. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is wrong with the people of Nigeria. The people of Nigeria are different from the rest of Africa. I've never seen this recent generation. Yeah, it's worse. It looks like it gets worse with every generation. In my time, we stood up to the army. We advanced what we wanted, and we got what we wanted. We were not scared. But this generation, this entitled generation, the entire generation of entitled young people who don't want to do anything. They want you to hand over everything to them. They don't want to work. But they don't understand that it is their future, it is their present that is being endangered. And enough to inspire them to say, you know what, we have had enough and we have to stand. There has to be something. Something has to spark. Something has to bridge this gap. The gap is so wide and it's dangerous. The terrorists are making gains. The people of Nigeria are losing grounds. I feel so sad. What I see about Nigeria, I see so much blood. It's so scary. It's so scary. The amount of wanton killing that is going to take place. It's already taking place, but it's going to heighten. It will be Rwanda. Rwanda will be a child's play if we are not careful. Again, if we are not careful. But I tell this, the mastermind of these criminals, know ye that bullies can push people to some extent. I am still hoping that the people of Nigeria will rally, do a last-minute rally. I hope the world who are seeing today, I hope the United States who is seeing, I hope the so-called United Kingdom, France, and all that, the United Nations, where only 5 countries make decisions for the whole of the world, the most undemocratic organization. And I wonder why they can't tell me about democracy when they cannot democratize the United Nations. I am sad that this is what we have. A United Nation that has no somebody speaking for me. Yes, China, Russia, America, Canada, France, 5. Making small little France, little Britain, making decision for 1.4 billion Africans. Yes, I can excuse France, China, but none of them speaks for us. Who is speaking for me at the UN? Who? Nobody. And you want me? I don't even know why. Yeah, because the African leaders are all stupid for the most part. I don't know why they should be going to the United Nations. To do what? Every year they go and give stupid speeches and then it ends there. Why should we be going there? They don't care about us. It is time for us to go back home and look inwardly, take care of our continent. And that is why we have been betraying our founding fathers who proposed, who envisioned a United States of Africa. Yes, that is the only way Africa can be saved. A United States of Africa with one economy, with one political leadership, with one reserve bank, with one military. That is all. If we can put that together, if we can be courageous and summon that political will to do it, the nonsense in Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, this rubbish happening in Nigeria, will come down because they'll be facing an African army that will be fighting with one sentiment of truly uniting Africa and bringing Africans together, open the borders of Africa to every African to trade and exchange goods and services. That is the only way. They did it in Europe. I don't understand why we cannot do it in Africa. Why do we have wars going on in Sudan? And Central African Republic has been on fire. They want to ignite the fire in Nigeria, and they are successfully doing that. They want to disorder the whole continent of Africa. They want Nigeria so badly to crash so that they can jump. That's why they are the ones funding all these terrorist activities. They are the ones funding this completion of Osman Dan Fodio jihad. in Nigeria because they know they have that affinity to come back together and then reap where they did not sow. Africans, Nigerians, wake up. Africans, Nigerians, wake up. Before I leave, I want to call on South Africans on May 29. Make sure, make us happy. Give us a reason to be joyous. Vote Julius Malema as president of South Africa. South Africans, I am begging you, don't trade the future of Africa away. Africa is looking up to you. Yes, I agree. What is it called? Ramaphosa does have a revolutionary fervor, but he is colluding with those who created, who supported, who benefited from the apartheid system. We want a pure pan-Africanist. We have 5 already. We want to make it 6. If South Africa joins the team of revolutionaries, I know that in another 4 years, more African leaders with a revolutionary fervor will come on board. And I'm hoping that Nigeria will crash for a revolutionary to take over so that Africa will be totally and unconditionally liberated from the shackles of dependence, from the shackles of poverty. So Africa will unite and will have one central government, one central economy, a borderless continent, and one military that we need to do all our peacekeeping mission. And it will be done with the heart of true Africans and not from the eyes and prism of imperialists who never wanted any good for the continent. God bless you, and God bless Africa. God bless Nigeria. Deltans, as I'm concluding, you need to wake up. Go and tell Oboweriwori that you are the owners of Delta State. That any money given to Delta State is for Deltans and must be expended for Deltans. You must demand accountability from him. How he has been using the money to fund security and safety in Delta, and yet we still have this number of terrorists terrorizing and killing, maiming, and raping our people. We are tired. Oboweriwori, this is a riot act to you. I've never shown any interest in talking about you because Delta, even if I'm from Delta State, I've never felt really comfortable. I've never felt like that state is my state because of the kind of criminals that you guys have constituted yourselves into to lead the state, one of the biggest oil producing states in Nigeria that should actually be better than Dubai. To hell, the way it is. You should be ashamed of yourself, for real. And everything that they have said about you is actually being manifested. You are such a disgrace. But the people of Delta are the ones with the final say. If they choose to continue to tolerate insecurity and then being murdered, being raped, it's up to them. We have the vision, but you have the choice. You have the power. God bless you. Bye-bye.